माइक चेक चेक।
आ रहा है क्लियर? तो ये लेकिन बाहर नहीं आएगा, बाहर का नहीं आएगा ना? हाँ, दबा के ही किया था। ओके ओके।
Welcome to the Oil and Gas Premier League Season 4. This is the Challengers game between OiLSERV Risers, led by Akhilesh, and versus SuperTech, led by Anshul. Anshul winning the toss, and he wanted to take first strike. And the two men at the crease now, Sudeep and Ansar. Skipper Akhilesh will start the proceedings for OiLSERV. This has been a fascinating event, and we're coming to the concluding day of this event where the four finals are going to be played. The first of them being played on this ground at the Queen's Park Oval. Sorry, this is Queensland. First ball, right up to the batsman, too close to cut that one. Not much space, right into the keeper's gloves. It's a 20-20 over game, so there are only two men allowed in the first 6 overs. You got to have tight here as again bowls it right up to the stump, lets that one go. Batsman felt that he could get a wide with that. Umpires unmoved. Another dot ball. Strange, no slip there. This man at short third with the ball just, in the first few overs where it jags a bit, you need to playing across the line. The keeper missing the ball. Three balls into the game, no runs on the board. This time trying to drive this on, the keeper missing it again. Batsman not trying to take any advantage of that. Score remains on not so far. Ansar yet to face a ball. Sudeep has faced the first 4 balls with no runs on board. इसके लिए वो समीर ही अच्छा है फिर उसके Ball number 5 coming up. Akhilesh again driving this one through the cover area. There's a man at deep cover there for that single. So first runs on the board. First runs to Sudeep. 1 for the loss of no wicket. The last ball of the over coming up. Ansar to take strike. Two men outside the 30-yard circle. There's a man at extra cover. There's a man at long off. Last ball of the over. Ansar coming down the track, playing it of the inner half of the bat. The man at short mid-wicket, giving the chase. And the ball just winning the race out there. First runs for Ansar. The first boundary of this Challengers game. It's 5 for no loss. Over number 2 to begin. Jatin the bowler, left arm over the wicket to Sudeep. On the back foot, plays it back towards the bowler. No run of that ball. Still score remains on 5. Sudeep will have to take charge. He's already faced most of the ball. This time onto the pads, and he sends it towards the deep square leg boundary. And this is the maximum. He got it on his pads and flicks this over the square leg boundary for a 6. Score moves on to 11. Let's see what reply does Jatin have. He's been hit for the 6, and this time again on the pads. There's not much protection. This one's going backward or square. So back-to-back boundaries. Not a good line to bowl. You are a left armer. You can bring it across the batsman. Trying to bring it in. Has straight on the pads. Has been hit for a maximum and a boundary of consecutive balls. Takes the score on to 15. And Sudeep is into double figures. इसको थोड़ा ओपन कर सकते हैं क्या? तो मेरे को थोड़ा इधर से भी व्यू मिल जाएगा. यहाँ पे क्रॉस हो जाता है. Ball number 4. Again down leg side. Keeper just managing to collect it. A wide. Takes the score on to 16. First extras of the game. Jatin bowling to Sudeep. This time driving this down the ground. There's a man there at long off. Single added to the total. Takes the score on to 17. Jatin now Ansar coming down the track. Shortens that length up. Gives no room there. A dot ball. Last ball of the second over. And inner edges this one towards the fine leg area. More runs. Expensive over comes to an end. Of no wicket at the end of 2. Ansar batting 8 of 3 with 2 boundaries. Sudeep Pokhriyal batting 12 of 9, 1 boundary, 1 maximum. 60 runs coming off that over. 21 for no loss in 2. Good start for SuperTech. They're 21 for the loss of no wicket. And now Akhilesh having a change in plan. He's brought a slip in place. He's brought the short third man slightly square. Then nearly sucking him into that drive. The slip is there especially for that. Sudeep and Ansar just having a mid-chat. Ansar probably telling him to choose his balls. Not to go after everything. The offside blustered with a slip, a short third, gully, point, short covers, and on the pads, that's bread and butter for a right-hander there, and that's the second maximum of the game. He's too good on that. The moment you spray on to the pads, he's going to take you over the square leg or the mid-wicket area. This time fancies the mid-wicket and gets 6 more. Takes the score on to 27. Umpire just checking the condition of the ball. That's a good thing to do. Make sure that the ball is in right shape. 27 for no loss. Akhilesh slightly short. Cuts this one towards short third. Ansar taking a few steps for a single. No run there. A dot ball. Ball number 4. Coming down the track. Man at mid-on, get for that. Good attempt, but cannot hold on to the ball. Batsman come back for 2. A good attempt. He was trying his best to reach the ball. Got a hand to it, but couldn't hold on to that. So that's 29 for no loss. Sudeep, this time will be called a wide. Score moves on to 30. Akhilesh to Sudeep. Time onto the pads. The man at square leg giving the chase, but did he manage to swerve it? No, he doesn't. So 4 more to the total. Wrong line again. The moment they fed it on the pads, he's feasted on that. The moment they're bowling it outside the off stump, he's finding it difficult to get it off the square. So 4 more runs. Takes the score on 34. Last ball of the third over. A blistering start for SuperTech here in this Challengers game of the Oil and Gas Premier League Season 4. Last ball of the over. This time over the long on fence for another maximum. He pitched it up and easy pickings for him. He's in full flow at the moment. Takes the score on to 40. 3 overs completed. 40 for the loss. No wicket. First change coming in the 4th over. Saurav Shirke replacing Jatin. The scorecard so far, Ansar batting 8 of 3 with 2 boundaries. He's on strike. Right armour coming down the Ansar coming down the track, forcing him to bowl it outside, wide outside the off stump. Gets a wide for that. Takes the score on to 41. We'll have to reload the first ball again. Comes on the track, plays it towards mid-off. Vineet the fielder there, gets behind the ball, keeps it down to a single. We're in the power play, so you're only allowed 2 fielders outside. There's a man at deep square leg and there's a man long on. Sudeep on strike. He is 30 of 15, 2 boundaries, 3 maximums to it. This time again playing it over the long on fielder for another maximum. Takes him on to 36. Takes the score on to 48. OiLSERV will have to group themselves, will have to come up with ideas to stop this carnage out there. Anshul said that he'll be looking at a score of 180 in this Challengers game. Again, this time will be called a wide. One more run added. Takes the score on to 49. And Saurav is already under pressure. He's given away 9 runs in the 2 balls that he's bowled so far. He's bowled 4 actually, but 2 have been counted. This time trying to cut that one. This is what I was talking about. The moment it was outside off stump, he's finding it difficult to get it off the square. So just make sure you're keeping it there. It's short of length. No room to free his arms or nothing in his zone where he can take it over. The ball's flying over towards the long on area. So you alter it, and this time have a look at it again. But it's been called a wide. Not a bad idea. Ask him to fish for one. Keep a man at slip for him. You might be able to get him to edge one towards the slip. $50 coming up. 50 in 3.3 overs. Sudeep batting 36 of 17. Ansar batting 9 of 4. This time dancing down the track, plays it towards the square leg area for 4 more. We'll have to wait and watch for the umpire signal there. It was too good for anybody to have a look at it. It's been the fielder saying that it is a maximum, so 6 more runs takes the score on to 56. Again, this one slightly short of a length. Just into the sticks, keeping the ball straight as an arrow. No run there. Last ball of the 4th over coming up. 56 for the loss of no wicket. Onto the pads. Just laps it towards the fine leg area. There's no fielder there. Ends the over with a boundary. Takes him on to 46 of 20. 3 boundaries, 5 maximums, 60 for the loss of no wicket in 4. Jatin comes back to bowl the 5th over. 60 for no loss. Ansar coming down the track, plays it over the man at covers. He takes charge. He's got a boundary of the first ball of the over, putting the pressure onto the bowler right away. At the moment, both these batsmen are in full throttle. They kept the OiLSERV under pressure right from the first over. And they've raced up to 64 already. Jatin bowling to Ansar. Again comes down the track, shortens his length. He gets a single, The ball going towards mid-on. The fielder there from short midway coming round. Keeps it down to a single. Takes the score on to 65. Takes Ansar on to 14 of 6 balls that he's faced. Jatin to Sudeep. Again, playing it towards the point area. Changing his line this time, keeping it same into the channel where it's difficult for a batsman to get off square. Keeps the score on to 66. Jatin to Sudeep. Again, onto the pads, easy pickings, wrong line, gets penalized for that, takes the score on to 70, and his 50 coming up. Sorry, he's one hit away from his 50. He's on 47 of 21. यार उनको बॉल स्कोरिंग में गड़बड़ है. Dot ball. Rather, that's a single towards the long off. Last ball of the over. Over the point fielder for the ball racing away towards the boundary, and 4 runs to the total. पूरा मैच हम लोग गलत ही करते रहेंगे स्कोरिंग पे. नहीं लेकिन वॉकी टॉकी है ठीक है ना ठीक है बोल रहे हैं. Second change, Vinit Deshpande coming in to bowl the last over of power play. Sudeep on strike. First ball, plays it back towards the bowler, tossing this one up, but just not enough length that he must be looking for. So happy to play it back to the bowler. Still in the power play with only 2 men allowed outside, so you will want to maximize this. This time towards the long off boundary for 4. The man at mid-off moving to his left, but not ready to put in a dive, so he's unable to stop that one. 4 more runs, takes the score on to 78. वो लोग करो यार, क्योंकि पहले गलती कर रहे हैं फिर बाद में वो सुना रहे हैं. कहाँ से अंपायर उठा के लाते हैं. 78 for no loss. This time in the slot and over the long on boundary for another maximum. So he had a sighter of the first ball, and the next 2 ones are once into the fence and one over the fence. Takes the score on to 84. Come on, this one's a better one. Slightly short, trying to cut that one. There are 2 fielders waiting for that. One at the gully, one at the point. So no run there. 4 balls up in the over. This time playing it towards the mid-wicket area. There's no fielder there. The man at short mid-wicket can only just retrieve the ball from the fence. 4 more runs, takes the score on to 88. देखा मैंने वो स्कोर देखा उसे. Last ball of the over. We called a wide. 1 more run to the total. Takes the score on to 89. Scored for 15 runs in the first 5 balls that he's bowled. Again in the slot, and he drives this over the long on fence for 6 more. Sorry, 6 दिया नहीं, यहाँ से नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है यार, वही प्रॉब्लम है. इसको थोड़ा और बाहर कर देना बाबू, इसको वो दिखाई नहीं दे रहा क्या. Afraid that was a catch drop. So the first chance created and not been taken. End of over number 6, 89 for the loss of no wicket. Sudeep batting 65 of 29 with 6 boundaries and 6 maximums. Ansar relatively slow, 18 runs of 7 balls, 4 boundaries, no maximums. The power play ends, the fielding restrictions have been taken off. We'll have more men guarding the boundary, but at the moment with what Sudeep is batting, it doesn't make any difference as he's deposited 6 of them over the fence so far. Saurav Shirke to continue. Ansar now playing it towards the third man, and the first wicket for OiLSERVs. They wouldn't mind that. They would have ideally loved Sudeep, but they would like to take Ansar as well. So the first casualty at the score of 89, trying to chance his arm. The length wasn't there. The outer half of the bat and into the hands of the man at short third was stationed there for that. 89 for 1. Ansar Ahmed out 18 of 8 balls. 4 boundaries, no maximums. Ansar caught by Kapil at short third. New man Irfan, the left-hander, coming at number 3, coming at the fall of Ansar's wicket. Change in the field now. We have a man at deep mid-wicket, the man at deep square leg, man at slightly squarer of short fine. That's when down the leg side, keeper unable to stop that one, and the ball races away towards the boundary. 5 more runs added. Takes the score. Sorry, that's been given off the bat, and the keeper unable to collect that one. Irfan off the mark with that boundary, takes the score on to 93. It's gone for 24. This time back to the bowler. There's a man at short mid-off who comes around, keeps it to a dot ball. They need to string a few dot balls, get the pressure back onto the batsman. At the moment, both the batsmen that have come and the batsmen who started have been in full flow. Wide down leg side. Again, no consistency in the line that he's bowled. He's bowled one onto the pads, he got it for a boundary, then he bowls the one that's into the batsman, got away with the dot ball, and then another wide. That's better, plays it straight to the man at mid-off, no run there. Good composure by the batsman, the elbow position, and this time gets to play towards short covers. By the time Vineet could field the ball, both the batsmen cross over for a single. It was a bit wide, he just dabbed onto it and sent it towards the short cover area for a single. Gets Sudeep on to strike. .95 for 1. Again down the leg side. Umpire calls it a wide. The keeper missing that one, gets another extra run for that. Takes the score on to 97. It's warm conditions out here. This time again, bowling it onto the pads, gives away a single towards deep backward square leg. Saurav's been guilty of bowling on both sides of the wicket to both the batsmen. Ends the over with a single. 98 for the loss of no wicket at the end of 7. Sudeep is batting 65 of 29, and Irfan is batting 6 of 5 with 1 boundary. Saurav Shirke, this successful bowler so far, 2 overs, 29 runs and 1 wicket. Kumarasan to bowl over number 8. Left arm over the wicket. Down the leg side, flicks it towards the backward square leg area for 4. Takes the score on to 102. 102 for 1. Coming in 7.1 overs. Takes him on to double figures. He moves on to 10 of 6 with 2 boundaries. Onto the back foot, plays it towards point. By the time the fielder comes, Sudeep was quick to take off for the single. A better attempt could have had him in trouble, but nonetheless, it's a single. Takes the score on to 103. Sudeep on strike. This time drives it towards the point region. The fielder giving the chase. He'll manage to keep it inside the field of play, but by then both the batsmen have easily crossed over for 2 more. Score moves on to 105. And he moves on to 67 of 30. His strike rate of 223.33. Projected score of 105 in 7.3 will take them to 280. This time, much better ball. York Sims just doesn't give him any length out there to play with. A good dot ball. Start bringing a few dot balls in. Put the pressure onto the batsmen. At the moment, they have freeing their arms with anything that is right up to them or slightly short. Trying to force this one towards the square leg. Misses that one completely. Another dot ball. Keeps the score on to 105. Last ball of the over. Coming down the track. Trying to wedge this one. So 3 consecutive dot balls to end the over. Keeps the score of 105 at the end of 8. Sudeep batting on 67 of 33. Irfan batting 11 of 7. And Kumarasen at the moment 1 over 7 runs, no wicket. Anup Chandran coming into bowl to the left-hander, bowling over number 9, the right-arm off-spinner. Plays it softly to the man at short covers, unable to stop that single. Takes the score on to 106. This time bowling the leg spinner, bowls a wide. Takes the score on to 107. Trying to slant this one across the right-hander, but he bowled it outside the tram lines. He'll have to re-bowl that again. 107 for 1. Again, is that a wide? No, it is not. So that score remains on 107. He's trying to bowl it a bit flatter, quicker. So the man at third man and the man at point have to be really on their toes. What much better ball, lovely ball, quicker, right up to the batsman. Keeps the score on to 107. Will be called a wide again. He's trying that length. He's done well so far, but he's given away a couple of wides. Takes the score on to 108. This time he's bowled him, neck and crock. This is what he should have been planning for, and he's executed well. The first few balls were the one slightly short. This one starting from middle-end leg, and the moment it hit the turf, the break was there, and the ball crashes into the stumps. So Sudeep's enterprising innings has come to an end. 108 for 2. Man out Sudeep for 67 of 36. He was kept away from strike and kept quiet for some time. So he tried the big shot, but the moment he missed the ball, he crashed into the stumps, and they're 108 for 2. New man Norman Roland coming in at number 4 for all of Sudeep's wicket. Again starts off with the wide to the new batsman. Takes the score on to 109. Full toss onto the pads. Plays it towards the man at short square. Fielder unable to cut it off in the ring, but manages to get it before the boundary ropes are hit. It takes 2 more runs. Takes the score on to 111. Last ball of the over coming up. A good one for OiLSERV, but it is a lengthy one. So Norman off the mark with that double. Down the leg side will be called a wide. Takes the score on to 112. Playing it towards point. Takes a single. Ends the over. 113 for 2. Norman batting 3 of 2. And Irfan batting 12 of 8 with 2 boundaries. 8 runs coming off that over. Kumaresan continues. Over number 10. Dot ball to start. Norman on strike is 3 of 3. A brief passage of play where OiLSERV have managed to stop the flow of boundaries. Have got a wicket as well, the wicket of Sudeep. They need to keep things tight out here as Norman plays it back towards short mid-wicket. There's the bowler does the fielding of his own bowling. Keeps the score on to 113. Trying to cut this one. The keeper missing that one. Surprising to see he's not got his inner gloves on, so it's minimum protection that he has. No run there. Keeps the score on to 113. Three dot balls, this time playing onto the short fine leg area. The man at backward square coming around. Keeps it down to a single. Takes the score on to 114. Brings the left-hander on strike. One run of the first 4 balls. A good over so far. Missed his run up. We'll have to restart again. Fifth ball. Asking for an LBW and he's been given out. Played around the ball. The ball dipped onto him right in front of the middle stick. So the third wicket down. That's a score of 114. Man out Irfan LBW Kumaresan for 12 of 9 balls with 2 boundaries. So a good passage of play for OiLSERVs. They managed to get 2 wickets, kept the batsman quiet. कैशू है ना, कैशू है, और कौन है? मैंने पहले लिख के रखा था। हाँ इधर है मेरे पास।
ब्रेक में करना भी नहीं होगा, खत्म हो तो लास्ट बॉल है। चलो ऐड डालो, अभी सेटिंग चेंज करो, पूरा वॉइस शूट कर दूंगा, दोनों जगह ऐड है।
Anshul, the captain, came in, faced the first ball, gets a single. That's a drinks break right now. And after the carnage which started in the first 7 overs, next 3 overs belong to OiLSERV. 115 for 3 in 10 overs. Nonetheless, 11.5 is what the current run rate is. Sponsors for this event, we thank them for their support. Cashew, QuickArt, Sparklet MES, Hedge and Sachs, Quantum Investment and Financial Management, and ServoWell. This tournament started with 10 teams in the group stage. Petrofac, Cummins Arabia, OiLSERV Risers, KSB Skywalkers, Caltrol Eagles, DNO Dynamos, Sparklet MES, Intratech All Stars, Spira Power, and SuperTech Cricket Club. These 10 teams made it to the tournament, and we thank them for joining us in this event and hope to see them coming back again next year at the conclusion of this day. दे रहा हूँ ना मैं तेरे को, तेरा भी दे रहा हूँ ना, सब है भाई, लिख के रखा है, मेरे को बार बार बोलना पड़ेगा, इसलिए मीडिया पार्टनर्स। तुम लोग का कितना साल का एसोसिएशन? 4 साल तुमने किए ना? ASL live ना? AS live.
Experience the live telecast. Experience the live moment.
Experience the
Live moments.
live moments. चालू है वापस?
चलो यहाँ एक मैच चल रहा है, यहाँ आ जाओ।
Welcome back after the drinks break. 115 for 3. These pictures being brought to you live by AS Live. Experience the live moments. And AS has been associated with the OGPL since its inception. So we thank our media partners for bringing these moments, capturing them for us to cherish for a lot more years to come in the future. Lucky and his team have been tirelessly working every game to capture the nuisances and the joyous moments of this lovely game that we all play. And back to action again. First ball, Anshul plays it towards square leg. The fielder coming around, keeping it down to a single. It's Jatin who had gone for 30 in his first 2, has come back. His captain's reposed faith in him. He knows that he's an experienced bowler. Have a look at the man. There's only one man on the, rather only 2 men. The 3 men on the leg side. There's one at short fine. There's a man at deep mid wicket as an edge flies from the bat of Norman towards the third man boundary. There's no fielder there. The man at short third man unable to cut it off. Takes the score on to 120 with that boundary. Jatin to Norman, pushes him onto the back foot, plays it back to the bowler, no run there. Fourth ball of the over. This time gives a width to play towards the cover region. There's the fielder there. Misfields that one. Do they come back for two? No, they decide against it. Keeps it down to a single itself. Takes the score on to 121. Anshul yorks this one. No run there. Onto the pads, asking for an LBW and trying a run out as well, but in the end, they managed to get a run for the side. Ends the over, 121 for 3. Umpire calls it a leg bye, so 122 for 3. Norman batting 9 of 9 with 1 boundary. Anshul batting 2 of 4. And Jatin's gone for 36 in the 3 that he's bowled so far. Anup to continue, right arm leg spinner, gives Norman the width that he looks for. And he plays it towards the cover boundary for a single, takes the score on to 123. This time down the leg side will be called a wide. Takes the score on to 123. Full toss, plays it down towards the man at long on. There's a fielder there. Keeps it only to a single. Takes the score on to 125. Brings Anshul on to strike. This time straight to the man at short cover. No run there. This time onto the pads. Will be going down leg side. That's why the umpire wasn't interested. Wait for the umpire signal. Another leg bye to the total. Takes the score on to 126. 2 balls left in the over. Short, plays it towards the man at extra cover. The fielding there, a single more to the total. Takes the score on to 127. Last ball of the over. Again a wide, so takes the score on to 128. OiLSERV have been guilty of bowling a lot of wides. They've given away 15 wides in the innings so far. Plays it towards the man at short covers, trying the one-hand field. Just gets a hand to it, allows the single to be taken. End of the over. 129 for the loss of 3 wickets. Anshul batting 4 of 8. And Anup's gone for 14 in the 2 overs he's bowled, giving away 6 runs in this over. Vineet coming to bowl the next over. Slightly flat. It was the man at short third. Fields there. Gives away a single. Anshul didn't get to the pitch of the ball. Just got it to slice it towards the third man area. There's a fielder there. Keeps the score on to 130. Brings Norman on to strike. .130 for 3. Vineet's bowling a slow one, but he ends up bowling a wide. So one more extra to the total. Norman plays it towards the deep mid-wicket area, over the mid-wicket fielder for 6. So a boundary after quite some time, takes the score on to 137. Vineet is gone for 23 in the 1.2 that he's bowled. Slightly quicker this time. The keeper managing to stop that one. Last one was tossed up and Norman took full toll of it. This time trying to change the pace, quicken this up, shortened it a bit as well. Again a quicker one, and the keeper standing a couple of steps back, still not able to hold on to it. It's a dot ball. Fifth ball, quicker one again. Keeper holding on to that, trying a stumping. Norman this time has to hurry himself on, but he's not able to connect. So 3 consecutive dot balls. Good comeback by Vineet. He's gone for 7 runs in this over so far. Gave away a single, then a maximum. Comes back with 3 dot balls. How does he close this over? This is the last ball of the 13th over, as this time gets a bat to it. There's a man at deep mid-wicket who fields the ball. The complete one, and Anshul has to come back for the second. Easily makes that one. 2 more runs added. 9 runs over. Ends his 13th over with 139 for the loss of 3 wickets. Norman batting 19 of 16 and Anshul batting 5 of 9. Vineet Deshpande 2 overs, 25 runs, no wicket. Anup to Anshul, plays it softly towards the man at short third, takes a single, goes to the non-striker's end, giving Norman the strike, who is in better flow at the moment. Good decision by the captain, understands the team situation, what the requirement is. He knows a few more runs in the next few overs can propel them to a good score and then put pressure on OiLSERV when they come back to it, as asking for an LBW. Probably the height was an issue, a leg bye nonetheless. Takes the score on to 141. Norman just turning around, trying to guide this towards square leg or behind square. Doesn't get to the pitch of the ball, but gets a leg bye, takes the score on to 141. Anshul plays it straight to the man at short covers. There's no run there. .141 for 3. Anshul this time playing it towards deep point. The man at covers coming around to his left. Good bit of fielding, but by then the batsman had completed 2 more runs. Takes the score on to 143. 143 for the loss of 3 wickets in 13.4. Projected score will take them to 209. He'll be eyeing around that area. Fifth ball of the over, Anshul plays this towards the long on fielder, completes a single, takes the score on to 144. Last ball of the over coming up. This time turning it around square, the man stashed in there at square leg, runs a few paces to right, that's the captain Akhilesh. Ends the over, 145 for the loss of 3 at the end of 14. Norman batting 20 of 18, Anshul batting 9 of 13. Anup going for 19 runs of the 3 overs he's bowled with a wicket to his credit. We need to continue. Norman on strike. Was that an edge? Well, we'll just get to know. Umpire calls it a bye, so one more extra to the total. Takes the score on to 146. Anshul playing it in the air to the man at covers, and he's been caught. So Vinit gets a wicket and jumps in joy. He's had not much of joy in this game, but he'll be happy to get one wicket to his credit. 146 for 4 sees the end of Anshul Srivastava, who scored at covers of 9 runs of 14 balls. The man out, Anshul Srivastav, caught by Saurav Shikre at cover boundary of the bowling of Vinit. New man, Ajil Suresh, plays it back towards the bowler. Dot ball. Three more balls left in the over and 5 overs to follow after that, as this time Ajil plays it towards the man at long on. Fielder there, a couple of bounces. He fields that one, keeps it down to a single. Takes the score on to 147. Ajil off the mark with that single. Brings Norman on to strike. Norman plays it again towards the man at long on. Not ready to take the chance. Takes it on the bounce. A single added. 148 for 4, last ball of the over. Ajil plays it down towards the man at long on. He's been quite busy. There's the man at deep mid wicket who comes around. Ends the 15th over at 149 for 4. We'll have a look at the scorecard. Sudeep and Ansar were the one who opened the innings. Sudeep 67 of 36 balls with 6 boundaries, 6 maximums. He was out bowled off the bowling of Anup. Ansar Ahmed was caught by Kapil off the bowling of Saurav. He's made 18 of 8 balls with 4 boundaries. Irfan, LBW Kumaresan for 12 of 9, 2 boundaries. Norman batting 21 of 20, 1 boundary, 1 maximum. Anshul Srivastava, the last man out so far, 9 of 14 with no boundaries or 6 caught by Saurav off the bowling of Vineet. And Ajil, who just joined him, 2 runs of 3 balls. 6 bowlers being used by OiLSERV. Akhilesh 2 overs 24 runs, no wicket. Jatin 3 overs 36 runs, no wicket. Saurav Shirke 2 overs 29 runs, 1 wicket. Vineet 3 overs 28 runs, 1 wicket. Kumaresan 2 overs 9 runs, 1 wicket. And Anup Chandran 3 overs 19 runs, 1 wicket. Akhilesh, the captain, coming into bowl number 16. Time turns around, plays it towards the square leg boundary. The fielder there was a deep mid wicket, so the 150 coming up, 153 for 4 in 15.1. Current run rate of 10.09 will take them past the 200. Second ball of the over. Cuts this one towards point. There's a slight misfield there, allows a single. Takes the score on to 154. Okay. फयाज भाई इधर के हैं कि तुम लाए कल कल अवेलेबल है क्या अपना 7 districts. The boundary coming down this time, rather this is a 6 over long on. Takes the score on to 160. Norman, the man, sending his over long on. 27 of 21, 1 boundary, 2 maximums. And Akhilesh is in for some stick out here today. He's given away 35 runs of 2.3 overs. This time towards the cover region and short of the man standing inside the circle, gets a single for that, takes the score on to 161. This time driving it past the bowler, the chance of a cotton ball, but too quick for the bowler. Akhilesh takes the score on to 163. So that's 162. Last ball of the over coming up. Norman, the batsman, who's on 28 of 22. Slowing this one up, but going through with the shot towards the man at deep mid wicket for a single. Ends the over. 16 gone. 163 for 4. आ जाएंगे ना खुद ही से मैं टाइमिंग देखता हूँ क्योंकि क्या हुआ है 3 मैच है कल एक 1 बजे को एक 2:30 बजे को और एक फाइनल 6 बजे को इंश्योरेंस का हाँ तो एक मैं दो करूँगा मेरे दो हैं अब मेरे को देखना है कि मैं 1 o'clock वाला करूँ कि 2:30 वाला करूँ तो उसके हिसाब से मैं बताऊँ मैं उत्तम से बात करता हूँ थोड़ी देर Saurav Shirke coming in to bowl the 17th over, his last over of this tournament. And how does he try to close it out for himself and keep his team in contention for that Challenger trophy as he gives away a single of the first ball, takes the score on to 164. First ball over of the completed. Trying to cut this one into the keeper's gloves. Keeps the score on to 164 itself. Ajil plays it towards point, the region, and gets another single. Takes the score on to 165, brings Norman on to strike. Norman swivels around, sends it towards the square, backward square leg area. They complete one and they come back for two. Kapil, the fielder, there. Closer to the commentator's box. Keeps it down to 2. We'll bowl a wide. We'll have to re-bowl. One more extra to the total. 168 for 4. Another wide, so one more run to the total. Another maximum takes the score on to 175. Norman's now going to get into the top gear. We're in the last few overs of the innings. This is the 17th over, 16.5 completed, 175. He moves on to 38 of 26. He's continuing the carnage that Sudeep had done at the top of the order. Now trying to replicate that in the last few overs as Saurav misses his radar, will give away another wide. He's already given away 3 wide. So these lengthy overs, we're going to keep OiLSERV on the field for longer in these warm conditions. Not only do you give away an extra run, you need to re-bowl, stay at the wicket field for long as Norman this time plays it in the air. Saurav trying to get a catch of his own bowling and he finally has the last laugh. Norman trying to up the ante. Loses his wicket. Caught and bowled by Saurav for 38 of 27. 1 boundary, 3 maximums. But he's done his job for his side. He's given them a good platform for the last 3 overs. Saurav Shirke, 3 overs, 42 runs, 2 wickets. Lucky. 150, okay, now.
उसको नजदीक है क्या आ जाएगा
अच्छी है. I heard he's good. Experienced है ना.
नहीं अच्छा है मेरे टेनिस का वो साइड का पूरा मैं इसको बोला टेनिस का कर्नाटका में कर्नाटका का तो बहुत ही अच्छा करता है
अच्छा वो कन्नड़ा में पूरा बोलते हैं. तो कन्नड़ा मैं भी बात कर सकता हूँ बट मेरा एकदम बैठते नहीं है. फ्लो नहीं है इसका. इनका तो नेटिव लैंग्वेज है ना. और मैं क्या थोड़ा अटक जाता हूँ कभी कभी.
ज़्यादातर वो कर्नाटका का टूर्नामेंट ही करते हैं लाइव
इरशाद और वो सब ना.
एम्पायरिंग भी करता है वो भी करता है
फिर मैं नंबर दे मैं शेयर कर. तो मेरे को तो तू बुलाता ही नहीं आजकल कोई भी मैच के लिए.
यार मेरा नहीं हो रहा है देखिए मैं पहले जैसा नहीं कर सकता
अच्छा चल ठीक. Or number 18, man, Ajil playing it towards. Sorry, that was Bruno. Two balls done in the over, singles of it each of the bowling of Kumaresan. He must be the designate 18th over and the last over bowler. 178 for 5. Last man out was Bruno. Sorry, that was Norman who was out for 38 of 27 balls. At this time, coming down the track, Ajil missing that one will be a dot ball. The SuperTech batsmen, the remaining batsmen have to make sure that they keep the momentum that the initial overs that the team had got, and then Norman continued. Bruno, who started the tournament opening the innings, has been the designate finisher for his side. A change of role as the tournament goes on. As Ajil plays it in the air towards the man at long off, one bounce, the man at long on this time coming round to his left, keeps it down to a single. Good over from OiLSERV so far, just giving away 3 runs. Make sure that the boundaries are dried up. Ajil on to strike, who's 10 of 10. Rather, that's Bruno on strike. It's 179 for 5. He drives this towards the man at short mid-wicket. A misfield allows them to come back for the second. These are quite a few runs that extras that OiLSERV have been guilty of leaking. Let's see at the end of it, how much does it cost them? 181 for 5, 17.5 completed. Last ball of the 18th over. Bruno this time gets the full Monty and he sends this over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. And takes the score on to 187 with that 6. It takes him to 9 of 3 with 1 maximum. Kumaresan's figures just a bit dismantled. 3 overs, 20 runs and 1 wicket. 187 for 5. Current run rate of 10.38 should get them to 208. Can they eye 210 plus? Jatin coming to bowl the penultimate over of the innings. Much fuller under the bat of the batsman, into the keeper's gloves. No run, a dot ball to start. This time undercuts at 1. They take a quick single. Don't want to risk giving away extra runs. Jatin doesn't want the keeper to throw that one. A single added to the total. Takes the score on to 188. Brings Bruno on to strike, who scored a 6 of the last ball he faced. So he'll want to maximize 10 more balls that are left in this innings. This time back past the bowler towards the man at long off. They take a single. Keeps the score on to 189. Fourth ball of the over. Plays it towards deep mid wicket. They complete one and they take off for a quick double. Is there a chance of a run out? Wait for the umpire, whether he's going upstairs. He's not interested. The two added to the total. Takes the score on to 191. Bruno making sure he gets in time, allows Ajil to complete that double. As this time he plays it in the air. The ball towards the cover region. They complete one. And again, quick running between these two batsmen. Two more runs added. 18.5 completed. 193 for 5. Partnership 17 of 11 balls, as again one high in the air. The man at short cover coming around and unable to hold on to that one. Beneath the field there. End of the over. 19 gone. 194 for 5. Ajil Suresh batting 17 of 16. And Bruno batting 10 of 4 with one maximum. Jatin completes his quota of 4 overs, 43 runs, no wicket. As the final over of the innings in this Challengers game between SuperTech Cricket Club and OiLSERV Risers. Last over of the innings, Vineet Deshpande coming in to bowl this over. There's a man at short third man, there's a man at gully, point, extra cover. Quicker one, slices into the air, and a drop by the man at point, and the batsman come back for two easily. A fielder backpedaling but falling, making sure that he's not hurt himself too much. Two more runs, 196 for 5. This time plays it towards the deep mid-wicket region. There's a fielder there, a single added. Ajil Suresh goes on to 20 of 18. Brings Bruno on to strike last 4 balls of the innings. Playing it towards the extra cover region. There's a fielder there. They complete one. Bruno thinking of a second, but a good throw. Would never have made it to the second. So just 1 run added. Score moves on to 198. 19.3 completed. Another quicker one this time. Again slices in the air. Point coming under it. And he drops at 1. 1 run completed. Chances being created, but they're not able to hold on to many of them. So 199 for 5. 2 more balls left in the innings. Bruno 11 of 5. Can he maximize this and the next one? And this time gets the full flow of the bat over the cow corner area for 6. So the 200 coming up. 205 for 5. 19.5. Last ball of the over, last ball of the innings. लकी इसके बाद स्क्रीन पे बता देना जब आप स्कोर कार्ड दिखाओगे तो मैं बता अच्छा ये आपका गेम है हाँ उसके बाद ये बॉल के बाद आप स्क्रीन पे ला सकते हो स्कोर कार्ड नहीं नहीं, पूरा स्कोर कार्ड। हाँ, तो आप बता दोगे तो फिर मैं वो रीड करूँगा। रीड यहाँ से ही करूँगा, आप खाली स्क्रीन पर बता देना मेरे को। हाँ, ये बॉल होने के बाद। हाँ। Last ball of the innings. Again gets it to the beat of the bat and over the square leg boundary for another maximum, ending the score at 211 for 5. Bruno, with his 3 maximums, has just faced 7 balls, scores 23 runs for his side. 211 for 5. We need 4 overs, 45 runs and 1 wicket. As we have a look at the final scorecard of this innings. Sudeep Pokhriyal, 67 of 36, 6 boundaries, 6 maximums, strike rate of 186. He was bowled by Anup Chandran. Ansar Ahmed, 18 of 8 balls with 4 boundaries. He was caught by Kapil off the bowling of Saurav. Irfan, 12 for 9 with 2 boundaries. He was LBW Kumaresan. Norman, 38 of 27, held the innings in the second half with 1 boundary and 3 sixes. He was caught in board of Saurav. Anshul Srivastav struggled a bit, 9 of 14 with no boundaries, caught by Saurav off the bowling of Vineet. Ajil Suresh, 21 of 19 with 1 boundary, not out, and then Bruno coming and giving that final blow, 23 of 7 with 3 maximums, 23 extras, 19 wides, 3 leg byes, 1 byes, finishing the total at 211. Have a look at the bowling card. Akhilesh Bengre, 3 overs, 38 runs, no wicket. Jatin, 4 overs, 43 runs, no wicket. Saurav Shirke, 3 overs, 42 runs, 2 wickets. Vineet Deshpande, expensive, 4 overs, 45 runs, 1 wicket. Kumaresan, 3 overs, 20 runs, 1 wicket. And Anup Chandran, 3 overs, 19 runs, 1 wicket. So 212 is what OiLSERV Risers need in their 20 overs to claim a hand on the Challengers Trophy. We have a break and we'll come back with a reply in the next few minutes. Thank you and stay tuned. no slip in place. The man at short mid wicket, the man at square leg. This time he plays it again in the air. A couple of bounces to the man at long on. Single there, takes the score on to 12. This time it's Adil who plays it straight to the man at mid-on, skies that one, and Ansar didn't have to do much and gets a simple catch. So Norman, apart from getting that impetus to his innings, gets the first breakthrough for his side. Mohammad Adil trying a rash shot is out for 2 of 5, caught at mid-on by Ansar off the bowling of Norman. Mansoor Abbas comes in at number 3 at the fall of Adil's wicket, was caught by Ansar for just 2 runs. This time he tries to force this issue and sends this past the man at short covers, the man at long off. Standing there, keeps it down to a single, takes the score on to 13. This time Jatin plays it in the air towards the long on region. There's a fielder station there for that. He keeps it down to a single. A good comeback by Norman after being hit for a 6, got a wicket and kept the score down to 14 for 1 in 2 overs, needing another 198 runs in 108 balls. Anshul to start over number 3, onto the pads, plays it. The keeper there doing well to race up to the ball. No run there. Keeps the score on to 14. Second ball towards the deep square leg fence for 4 more. Takes the score on to 18. String onto the pads and flicking this one towards the square leg area for 4 more. Takes Jatin on to 13 of 7. Anshul, this time he comes down the track, plays towards short covers. There's fielder there but unable to cut that single. So 1 more run added. Takes the score on to 19. time, did he edge that one? No. It's another dot ball. Keeps the score on to 19. Chances down the wicket, but Anshul bowling this wide outside the off stump will be called a wide. Takes the score on to 20. For 1. This time again charging down the wicket, missing that one, breaks the stump down. Umpire not interested, straight away calls it a dot ball. Anshul to continue. Doesn't get it right at the meat of the bat. Plays it towards short cover. No run. 3 overs completed. 20 for the loss of 1 wicket. Jatin batting 14 of 8. And Mansoor Abbas 1 of 4. Anshul 2 overs. 9 runs. No wicket. Norman continues. Jatin this time plays it towards the mid-wicket boundary. There's no fielder there. He gets 4 for 8. He's trying to make a match of it. Remember when also were fielding, the Sudeep would send them to all parts of the park, and Jatin is trying to get a few back there. .24 for 1. Again, this time hooks this one and towards the fine leg for 4. He crouched down a bit, got under the ball and sends this towards the fine leg area for 4. So back-to-back boundaries for Jatin, back-to-back boundaries for OiLSERV, who in pursuit of 212 right now are 28 for 1. This time Jatin crashes this towards the point region for 4. Elegant looking shot from the left-hander. Pitched up to him. He just carves this towards the point region for 4 more. Takes the score on to 32. बोला 130 तक आना चाहिए. 4th one and another boundary. So 4 boundaries of the first 4 balls. Takes the score on to 36. Jatin is now 30 of 12 with 5 boundaries, 1-6. First 4 balls of the over, all gone in for boundaries. The field change. There's a man now from short mid-wicket has gone to deep mid-wicket as he this time drives this towards the long off boundary for 4 more. 5 boundaries of this over, 5 balls bowled. Can he make it a 6 on 6? Exciting phase of the game in pursuit of 212. They've now raised to 40 for 1 of 3.5. They were tied down for the first 3 overs. 20 runs just came off it, and now for the first 5 balls of the over, they scored 20. They'll want to continue that. Last ball is it, the 6 on 6 as he flicks this one. It's been called will it be called a wide? No, it isn't. He missed this one, so 5 boundaries of this over. Nonetheless, a very productive over for OiLSERV's. 40 for 1 at the end of 4. Still the 5th over. We're in the power play. Just 2 men are outside as Anshul to continue. He's going to bowl the 5th over of the innings. As this time, Mansoor Abbas tries to go down the ground, manages to get a single. The good thing is that he gets Jatin onto strike, takes the score onto 41. Partnership was 29 with Mansoor just adding 2 runs to it. Jatin drives this one through the cover region. A handsome looking stroke, and the ball will again finds its way towards the fence. Takes the score on to 45. Takes him on to 38 of 15 with 7 boundaries, 1 maximum. He's played all the cricketing shots that he has. The cut, the drive, he played a lap, and he played a beautiful shot over long on for a 6 of the bowling of Norman. All the strokes that you need for a top order batsman. Anshul this time trying to keep it away from him. Bowls a wide. He will have to re-bowl. Takes the score on to 46. Another shot, aerial one, and it'll be a boundary. The 50 coming up in 4.3. Jatin now turning his wrath over Anshul. After taking 5 boundaries of Norman's over, this over, he's already scored 2 boundaries, taking his side on to 50. He's on 42 of 16. Again, in the air, but towards the man at long on, a single takes the score on to 51. Abbas trying a wild stroke and gets no run there. Now this is where Abbas has to be more sensible. He knows Jatin is the one who is getting those strokes. All you need to do is take a single, go to the other end, let him do the bulk of the scoring, and with the power play just an over away to complete, you have to make sure that you maximize it. As he misses that one, so does the keeper, allows that single to be taking place. 51 for 1 at the end of 4.5, rather the 52 for 1 at the end of 5. Over number 6, Abbas. First ball, does he miss that one? Yes, he does. A dot ball. This time Abbas gets a good meet of the bat and it goes away for 6 more. Takes the score on to 58. Adilul Rahman, who started the 6th over with a dot ball, gives away a maximum in the next one. Takes the score on to 58. Current run rate of 10.88, required rate 10.5. So they're matching this rate required. As Abbas now gets it down towards the long on region, gets a single for that, takes the score on to 59. Fielders just having a chat. Fielders just having a chat as to where each one will be standing. Jatin now onto the pads, flicks it towards square leg. The misfield there. They just complete a single. Anshul doing the cleanup there. Takes the score on to 60. Abbas now edges this one. There's no man standing in the third man region. 4 more. Takes the score on to 64. Abbas moves on to 13 of 11. 1 boundary, 1 maximum. Good over. 12 runs of the over so far with the ball to go. This time misses that one and dot to end the over. 6 overs completed, 64 for the loss of 1. Ansar starts off with a dot ball. Jatin going onto the back foot, trying to cut this one, doesn't get any connection into the keeper's gloves. Ansar Ahmed Abbasi, who didn't do much with the bat, now his captain will be hoping that he gets him a couple of wickets, quick wickets, without giving away too many runs. Shot, plays it towards the square leg area. There's a fielder there. Takes a single of the second ball, takes the score on to 65. Going down next side will be called a wide. Takes the score on to 66. The score card फिर अटक गया. Abbas misses this one and he's bowled. He's out for 13 of 13 balls with one boundary, 1-6. 66 for the loss of 2 wickets. The partnership of 54 comes to an end with Abbas being bowled. नहीं मैच एंड तो नहीं बता रही है. Anup Chandran, number 4 off the pad, no run, so another dot ball. Dot ball again, straight to the man at short mid wicket, no run. 5 balls completed, last ball of the over. Plays this in the air. The man at long on coming around and falls just short of him. He keeps it down to a single, ends the over. 67 for 2. A good over for SuperTech, just giving away 3 runs and taking the wicket of Mohammad Abbas. 7 completed, 67 for 2. Needing another 145 runs of the remaining 78 balls. Anup Chandran gets an inner half of the bat towards the fine leg area. The keeper running around, so does the man at third man. By the time they come back for 2 more runs, takes the score on to 69. Anu plays it towards short mid wicket. They take off for a single, a risky one. A run out attempted at the non-striker's end, doesn't hit the stumps. So 1 run completed, takes the score on to 70. Brings Jatin on to strike, who's been away of strike for quite some time now. Interesting to see how does he approach this now. Flicks this one towards backward of square. They take a single, trying to attempt a run out. Leg buys, takes the score on to 71. SuperTech will not mind those boundary, those singles. They'll be wary of if they can stop the boundary check. That's when the required run rate will start creeping up. It's already reached 11.28 and starts getting higher as soon as you start not meeting the required rate. Now the dot ball. Last ball of the over. Jate drives this towards the long off area for a boundary. Ends the over well for OiLSERVs. 76 for 2 at the end of 8. Current run rate of 9.50. Required 11.33 as Jatin reaches 49 of 22 with that 9th boundary and a maximum. First ball plays it down towards the long on region, adds another single to the total, takes him on to 77. Jatin on strike, plays it towards the mid-wicket region. There's a fielder there. His 50 comes up. 50 of 23 balls, 9 boundaries, 1 maximum. He's the key to OiLSERV risers if they want to overhaul the score of 212. 78 for 2 in 8.2 overs. He get that one? Yes, he does. Anup Chandran playing all over that one. The second wicket for Ansar. Bowl it slower into the air, and Anup overplayed that one. Ends up being bowled for just 6 runs of 9 balls. So the third wicket down for OiLSERV. 78 for 3 in 8.3. Thank you. Thank you. New man Kapil coming to the center. Kapil at number 5 plays this towards point, no run there. Dot ball, 1.4 overs, 5 runs, 2 wickets. Doing a job for his captain. Another one bites the dust. Kapil 2 being bowled out here. So a procession of wickets. 2 wickets in this over at the score of 78. Kapil out without troubling the scorers. He's out bowled for 2 balls. Last ball of the over coming up. As another one is being given LBW straight on the patch. Firoz arguing that it probably hit him above the patch, but the umpire thinks it's going to hit the stump. So 3 wickets in this over. And Ansar's figures now reach 2 overs, 5 runs, 4 wickets. They have been jolted in this over. And half the side is back in the hut. 9 overs gone, 78 for 5. With the lone warriors, Jatin at the center with 50 runs of 23 balls. Needing another 134 runs of 66 balls at the rate of 12.18. लगता है पूरा बॉक्स में प्रॉपर मील है. ये टाइम पे ना एक्चुअली फिंगर फूड अच्छा होता है रात में. ये टाइम पे वो फिंगर फूड अच्छा लगता है. ये फटाफट है. चलो जो दिया मालिक की दुआ. Akhilesh Bengre, the captain, coming to the center to partner Jatin. A task on hand for them now. As Adilur Rahman continues, as Jatin drives this towards the cover region. Takes a single, he's off strike. Takes the score on to 79. Akhilesh plays it soft hands towards a man at short covers. There's a misfield there. They complete one. And by the time the man from extra cover comes around, they take another two. So score moves on to 81. SuperTech at the moment are all over OiLSERV. They can't be complacent. This is the finals. You got to make sure you stop everything in spite of you being in pole position out here, as Akhilesh, not much movement. This time plays it towards Anshul again, who makes no mistake this time. Three of the first three balls. Akhilesh missing this cut into the keeper's gloves. No run. Wrapped on the pads, going towards to the right of the keeper. They take a single. Umpire signaling a leg by. Takes the score on to 82. Last ball of the 10th over. They're 82 for 5. Jatin trying to drive this one into the keeper's gloves. Keeper striking the stumps down. 10 overs completed, 82 for 5. Needing another 130 runs of the remaining 60 balls at 13 runs an over. Jatin batting 51 of 25. Akhilesh 2 overs 24. Adilur Rahman 3 overs 23 runs. But the pick of the bowlers so far, Ansar 2 overs 5 runs, 4 wickets. लकी पूछा मैंने फैज भाई को, उनका कल इवेंट है मॉर्निंग में। हाँ लेकिन वो बोल रहा रात में फिर शाम को उसको बोला, उत्तम ने कॉल किया उसको, वैसे उसको मना कर दिया। वही अभी कौन, कोई भी नहीं मिल रहा है कल के लिए। कौन ball, Prabhat. इधर भी 5 आउट हुए हाँ हाँ, 2 हैं
खाली कोल्ड ड्रिंक की कमी है, मंगाओ कोल्ड ड्रिंक में लेके वो आएगा नीचे तो उससे मंगाता है, यहाँ से वो है ही नहीं ना कनेक्शन डायरेक्ट।
First ball after the resumption takes a single. Score moves on to 83.
स्पेशली ना जाके भाभी को बोलना कि खाना आपने बहुत अच्छा अरेंजमेंट किया, ये टूर्नामेंट का ऐड वो है ये।
Jatin this time moves around, plays it towards the fine leg area. They complete one and they quickly come back for the second. A wild throw gets it easily. 2 more runs added. Takes the score on to 85. Comes on the track, lofts this one towards the long off region. There's a fielder there, Bruno, who normally patrols the boundary, gives away a single. Takes the score on to 86. कौन हरीश आउट हुआ कि खेल रहा है? Akhilesh plays it towards the fine leg area. The complete one. Hope that it had gone to the boundary, but not to be. Single more added. They need to add those runs quick and fast. They can't miss every opportunity they get. 87 for 5. 10.4 overs completed. Plays it in the air towards the mid-wicket region. The fielder coming around. The complete one. Jatin just ambling away for a single. Takes the score on to 88. Akhilesh going for the sweep. Will be called a wide. Score moves on to 89. Seven coming off the over so far. Last ball flicks it towards square leg. There's a fielder there. 8 runs coming off it. Good over for SuperTech. They need to keep it sure that they're giving less than 13, and giving just 8 is just going to add to the pressure on OiLSERV. Ends the over. 11 gone, 90 for 5. Over number 12, Akhilesh missing that straight a one. Dot ball. अभी देखना कैसे बंटे 90 for 5 as Akhilesh flicks this straight to the man at short square. They take off for a quick single. Rai Mohan, the bowler, is just given away 1 run of the 2 balls he's bowled. And now the left-hander on strike, Jatin. Jatin drives this towards the cover region. The fielder doesn't have a chance to cut that one off. 4 more runs. Comes after quite some time. A welcome boundary for OiLSERV Risers. Takes the score on to 95. Raimon pitching this one up, and Jatin's too good a batsman to miss out on that. Carves it towards the cover boundary for 4. Takes him on to 59 of 29. This time wanting to play this one towards the point region, inner half of the bat, towards short square, gets a single, takes the score on to 96. Akhilesh plays it towards the point region. They complete one. The fielder there very easily coming and cutting this one off. 1 more run added. Takes the score on to 97. Required run rate now crossing the 14 run mark. Jatin 60 of 30 balls. Akhilesh batting 7 of 10. This time trying to flick this one, doesn't get any hold of it, into the keeper's glove, but a wide, so we'll have to re-bowl that one. 98 for 5. Last ball to be re-bowled again. Drives this towards the cover region. The fielder station for that. A single to end the over. 12 gone, 99 for 5. Jatin batting 61 of 31. And Raj Mohan's gone for 9 runs of the 1 over he's bowled. दस ओवर में 100 बना दिया. हाँ वो एक है जो वो एक ही है जो वो भी 10 ओवर के बाद पता क्या करते हैं, क्राउच होके खाली खेलता रहता है. Jatin, an excited sort of appeal, not sure why that one was, but nonetheless it's a dot ball. 99 for 5. A wide, the 100 coming up in 12.1 overs for the loss of 5 wickets. Another 112 more runs of the remaining 47 balls. An uphill task, not impossible, difficult but not impossible. It comes on the ground, in the air. Does the man at long on is interested, but it'll be a 6. Misjudge at 1. Ansar could have got his 5th, but induced the fall stroke, but in the end gives away a maximum, takes the score on to 106. Jatin now batting 67 of 33. As we speak, he's got a second maximum. Onto the back foot, plays it towards long on. Couldn't pierce the field there. Could have played it a little bit more squarer. He would have got a boundary for it, but he's got a single and gets off strike. Last 3 balls coming up of Ansar's 4th over. He's given away just 21 runs and taken 4 wickets. Trying to sweep this one in all sort of tangles, but a wide added to the total. Takes the score on to 108. Will sweep this one, and the fifth one for Ansar. A tangled sort of sweep shot, too close to him, and in the end, right in front of the stumps, a fiver for Ansar Ahmed. His figures right now 3.4 overs, 22 runs, 5 wickets, and the 6th wicket down at the score of 108. नहीं पता क्या होता है 6-7 ले लेते फिर लास्ट के 3 होते नासुर होता है वो न मारता है न कुछ और वो मारने जाता है तो कट नहीं लगता है एज बीटन होता है Ishan Mistry at number 8. Onto the back foot, plays a dot ball. 108 for 6 with one more ball left in the 13th over. Onto the back foot, edges this one towards short fine. They complete one. Enough time to come back for the second. So Ishan Mistry is off the mark with that double. 110 for 6 at the end of 13 overs. And Ansar completes his quota of 4 overs with a fiver. This tournament being sponsored Rajmohan continues. First ball, gets a single. Does Jatin. Takes the score on to 111. 101 more runs of 40 balls, 41 balls. Trying to cut this one. Misses that one. Dot ball. Shan trying the big shot and he's bowled. Excitement for Rajmohan. Pumps his fist. Shan just trying the shot again, but too late now, my friend. The ball, wicket's been disturbed and you're on your way back to the pavilion. 111 for 7. The triple Nelson striking. मेरे फोन पे भी मैसेज आ रहा है योर फोन इज टू हॉट करके मेरा ओप्पो रेनो है फट जाएगा ना मैसेज फोन पे मैसेज आ रहा है योर फोन इज हॉट करके Kumaresan on strike. Rajmohan, the bowler, places towards the short cover region. No run. मैं नहीं मैं मेरे को नहीं मैं सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक बंद एक साल से Hundred and 12 for 7 as Kumaresan trying the stroke, but straight into the keeper's gloves. No run there. Sorry, that's a wide, so it will be 113 for 7. 2 runs coming in the form of wides since the fall of Ishant's wicket. Is he on the pads? Umpires unmoved. Dot ball. Kumaresan again trying to drive this one right up to the bat, into the keeper's gloves. End of over number 14, 113 for 7. Bruno coming into the attack. Over number 15, trying to cut this one, gets the width, and it's a boundary of the first ball. Trying to crank up some pace. Surprised Jatin, but he was equally up to the task, and the first ball goes for a boundary. So pressure on Bruno right away. Takes the score on to 117. This time towards the square leg area in front of square. He gets a single for that. Takes the score on to 118. Takes him off strike. Brings Kumaresan on strike, who's now still off to get off the mark with that 3 balls that he's faced. Kumaresan plays it towards short fine. They quickly take a single. Gets the strike to Jatin. Oh, there's a misfield there by the bowler. Allows that extra run. Takes the score on to 120. Bruno face to Kumaresan. fields of his own bowling and gives away a single. Pumped up is this boy. He bowls and bats with a lot of effort. Score moves on to 121. Jatin plays it in the air towards the man at deep mid wicket, rather not deep mid wicket, gets a single. 122 for 7. Last ball of the 15th over coming up. Kumaresan is bowled round the legs, surprising one. Even Bruno was surprised with that. So was everybody. So the 8th wicket down. Kumaresan bowled by Bruno for just 3 runs of 6 balls. So Jatin running out of partners. 122 for 8. As Saurav Shirke comes to the center. Over number 16, Rajmohan continues. Jatin edges this one towards the third man region. They get a single. Takes the score on to 123 for 8. Saurav Shirke comes to the center. Rajmohan trying to cut this one as Saurav will be called a wide. Takes the score on to 124. Saurav plays this over the bowler's head. They get a quick single. Takes the score on to 125. Required run rate now jumping to 18.64 per over. Jatin down the track, missing that one. The umpire unmoved with that stumping chance. Dot ball. Jatin plays it in the air over the long off fielder for 6. He's fighting it out for his side. Takes the score on to 131. He moves on to 82. Rajmohan, 2.4 overs, 21 runs, 1 wicket. Again in the air, and this time straight to the man at short covers. So a good stay from Jatin, being acknowledged by the wicketkeeper and Bruno, just gives high five. A lone hand for OiLSERV risers. The 9th wicket to fall. 131 for 9 is out for 82 of 41, or 82 of 42 rather, with 11 boundaries, 3 sixes, strike rate of 195, caught by Anshul Shiva, by Sudeep Pokhriyal off the bowling of Rajmohan, who's now got 2.5 overs, 21 runs and 2 wickets. The last man coming in for OiLSERV risers.
रखो तुम लोग के लिए जेब से प्लेट मंगा प्लेट सामने से आया लकी भाई आप कौन सा ग्राउंड में काम करते हो आप ग्राउंड में नहीं करते अच्छा है ना
लकी भाई बैटिंग करते हैं और फिर मीडिया करते हैं बस। हाँ भाई लंबे छक्के मारते हैं, हाँ तगड़ा हो। ऐसे नहीं कि खाली बाउंड्री क्रॉस मारा मारा तो बराबर से मारा।
तोड़ता नहीं है
Manish Lad, the last man, and he's been bowled. The end of the game, and the challengers game being won by SuperTech. They win by a margin of 80 runs. Not out है क्या? क्या कर रहा हूँ? नहीं नो रन था। मैं सोचा विकेट डांडी देखी ऊपर, ऐसा लगा इधर से ऐसा लग रहा कि डांडी गिर गई। My bad, it's the 9th wicket only down. The last man still there. He got away with a dot ball. Saurav on strike. Bruno, the bowler. He's got 1 wicket and given away 9 runs in the 1.1. Does he? This time plays it towards the long off region. The fielder giving chase. They complete 1. Come back for the 2nd. Takes the score on to 133. Third ball of the over. Edges this one towards the third man region. Fielder there keeps it down to a single. Takes the score on to 134. 134 for 9. The run on an overthrow. We count it as 2 now. Makes the score on to 135. Trying the lap shot. The keeper missing that one too. They take a single for that. Umpire confirming that that's off the bat, so doesn't call it as a bye. So 1 more run added. One more run. Another dot ball. 136 for 9. Last ball of the 17th over. In the air towards the mid-off region, there's a single there. Ends the over. 137 for 9.
लेकिन अभी टीम कमेंट्री है ना, एक कमेंट्री वहाँ बैठ सकते हैं ना, वहाँ डगआउट में अपने बैठ होल्डिंग दो जरा इधर है। समीर भाई तुम पार्टी मिस किया, आज पार्टी था मेरे तरफ से। कोल्ड ड्रिंक कितना ओवर हुआ?
17 ओवर, 3 बाकी है।
मेरा खाना इधर रखा है बोलता है।
Rajmohan, last wicket, sorry. This is over number 18. Starts off with the dot ball. Again, another dot ball. 2 consecutive dot balls. 137 for 9. This time, again another dot ball. So 3 consecutive dot balls. Both the players trying to achieve what they want. Manish wants to hit one for a 6, and Rajmohan wants to break the stumps, but at the moment both have not been able to do either of the two. And this time Rajmohan does it, ends the game, ends the tournament for OiLSERV brothers and for SuperTech, who win this game by 74 runs in the Challengers game. 137 for 10, all out in 17.4 overs, and a 74-run victory for SuperTech against the OiLSERV Risers here at the Bijosh Cricket Club at the Queensland Stadium in the Oil and Gas Premier League Season 4.
एक्सपोर्ट पे जा, ऊपर ऑप्शन आएगा ना, ईपीएल का फोल्डर देख, उसके अंदर फाइनल डे पे फोल्डर हाँ उसको चेंज करना, ओजीएल का सेलेक्ट कर।
प्रेजेंटेशन पार्टी आप करेंगे डेस्कटॉप पे?
नहीं लैपटॉप पे नहीं है, डी ड्राइव। हाँ ओजीएल फोल्डर उसमें देख नीचे फाइनल डबल क्लिक कर, हाँ अंदर एक फोल्डर उसमें पहला मैच है ये, हाँ उसको लग पहले रील्स और फिर पूरा पता है ना कौन सा सेलेक्ट किया था? ऑल और नीचे वाले पे, टॉप वाला नहीं है ना? लोग हैंडशेक पे लेके गया कि नहीं कैमरा में? नीचे करना, मिनिमाइज कर दो, वैसा रहेगा। उसके लिए ओपन करना जरूरी है। हैंडशेक हो रहा है ना? अभी दूसरा मैच कितना ब्रेक है? क्यों? आ गया दूसरा दिन? क्या बात कर रहे हैं? तुम लोग खाना तो ब्रेक नहीं हम लोग को?
शराब निकल गया
स्टार्ट कर दे